And hey, we're back. So to finally finish off Schwarzenegger Saturdays, send our boy off on to long pastures, close the book on our favorite tradition. We close things off with the movie that made Schwarzenegger a household name, Pumping Iron. This is actually the first documentary we ever watched on our movie nights. Um, so now we all feel smarter. Um, Pumping Iron is a documentary from the 1970s, documenting a number of different professional bodybuilders, but mostly Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno, as their like rivalry for the Mr. Olympia contest. Um, God, it's really fascinating, really well shot. Obviously, this is an award-winning documentary that's been around for years. It's really good. I think it's interesting to watch because you really get like a look into like Arnold Schwarzenegger as like himself. Like he's not playing a role. It's like it's crazy how much more natural he is. It's not really crazy. He's fucking being natural. But when you see, I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love him to death. His acting's a little wooden in his earlier films. It's a little like stilted, but like when and like you kind of subconsciously like, oh, English is a second language. It's a thick accent. It's whatever. But you watch this movie and you realize like, oh no, it's he speaks fluent English. He perfectly understands what's going on. He's a little bit of a wooden actor in a fun way. But here you really see Arnold like as himself, obviously because it's a documentary. Um, and I love it. He's a bit of a dick in it. Um, not too much. It's obviously I'm not a very competitive person myself, to be honest. So I understand the competitive urge, like wanting to win is important, but like myself, I never try and let that get to me. But like Arnold is very clearly competitive. He decided he wanted to be the world's greatest bodybuilder, and nothing was gonna fucking stop him. So it's really, um, him and Lou Ferrigno, aka the Hulk, and he played the Hulk in the 1980s TV show, 70s, 80s, whatever. The Hulk TV show, the Incredible Hulk. Um, and it's just their rivalry for the Mr. Olympia title. Um, God, it's very fascinating. It's a really interesting look into like what goes into professional bodybuilding. Personal bodybuilding is something that's really never really interested me that much. It's one of those things where it's like it's incredibly difficult to do. I appreciate that they put a lot of fucking work in, but like I can never see myself like watching a bodybuilding contest. I'm like, oh, look at that guy, he's really muscly. Oh, that guy is really muscly. Um, I don't really know how I would judge that. Um, but that's not to like discredit it as a sport. It's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly impressive what they do. Um, but yeah, it is a movie that really made me like, as someone who really doesn't care about professional bodybuilding that much, made me really invested in like their journeys and like their attempts to like God. Arnold's a little weird in it. Not in like, how do I describe this? So watching, it's clear Arnold's a very smart man. Um, he speaks fluent English. He totally understands. Like he's been in America for a while at this point. He totally understands the cultural differences. He just has a very thick accent, so he really has no excuse for some of the weird shit he says. Obviously, there's the fucking off-putted line. It's like, we need that pump. It's like you're coming with a woman. I'm backstage, I'm getting that pump. I'm coming. I'm on stage. I'm coming in front of 5,000 people. It's like, wow, Arnie, you really said that, huh? Uh, that scene's great because you can see on his face. My friend came pointed out. You can see on his face. He's thinking where he's like, should I say this? And then he says, fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. And he says, getting that pump on is like coming with a woman. We all went in with a very mature attitude. We're all like, okay, it's a movie. We're gonna see a lot of shirtless, muscly men and speedos and stuff. We're just gonna roll with it. um, we're not gonna be immature about this. But then later on, Arnold's talking about how his plan is to kind of get into Lou Ferrigno's head. So we're gonna get a hotel room together. I'm gonna get one night with him. I'm gonna twist him. I was like, what is Arnie gonna do? What's Arnie gonna? And there's the jokes where you see the hotel room. It's like, oh, there's only one bed. Um, Sorry, gay jokes. But besides all that, it's a very well shot movie. Really, really exceptional. I again, I want to point out how like me, a person who really could not give two shits about professional bodybuilding, I was super invested. I really wanted to know how it was going. I was really in their journeys and Lou Ferrigno's journey, and like I was. Spoilers, fucking not a shocker. This happened 20. How long is? Oh my god, almost 40 years ago. Anyway, this happened in like 1977. Um, yeah, but over 40 years ago, so like, no surprise. Arnie won that Mr. Olympia contest. Lou Ferrigno came in third. Um, so it's you're really invested in Lou Ferrigno's journey, and it's really sad, like, cause you're really rooting for him. You really like, but God, you really get some like these interviews. Like things start out really quirky, really funny, but like things get really deep. You see how like hard these men are competing, how like invested they are in it. It's like it's a really good movie. Yeah, Pumping Iron. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. Pumping Iron. Very sweaty, very greasy. Good movie though. Goodbye, Arnie. We'll miss you. Hi, I'm adding the song because I realized what I said at the end of that made it sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger is dead. I just mean like we're done watching Arnold movies on our movie nights. Arnold Schwarzenegger is still alive and kicking. Bye.